From shaving and tweezing to waxing and even electrolysis, some folks go to great lengths and pain to remove unwanted hair. For an alternative, Laser Body Solutions offers advanced, non-invasive treatments. Joining me now is Dr. Jeffrey Gold, Medical Director, to explain how it works. It's great to have you.
Thank you for having me back.
All right, hair removal, growth is something that I think women and men are very interested in doing.
Absolutely.
And so why is it that certain parts of your bodies of your areas of your body, I should say, have more hair than others?
Nobody really knows, but in general, in every square inch of our body except the palms and the bottoms of the feet and the eyelids, we have between 500 and 1,000 hair follicles, and it differs in different parts of the body.
Let's take a look at a diagram right now of the skin. And what are we looking at here?
This is a cross-section of skin showing a couple of hair follicles and how the hair leaves the surface of the skin.
All right, what should people understand about this diagram?
In every area there are a certain number of hair follicles, and there's an old wives' tale that if you shave you'll get more coarser hair. Not possible. Just think about snipping with a razor or a pair of small scissors each hair at the surface of the skin. Doing that cannot possibly cause more hair follicles to grow.
All right, so that's an old wives' tale.
Old
Absolutely.
wives' tale.
Okay, let's take a look at the next picture.
And in this we see the three phases of hair growth. On the left is growing, in the middle is dormant, and on the right is a shedding hair. And if you look real closely, in the growing phase there is a layer of pigment. And laser hair removal depends on the presence of that pigment. The pigment absorbs the laser energy, it's converted to heat, and the heat is what kills the hair follicle.
All right, what areas can be treated?
We can treat every area of the body except the bottom of the eyelid, and of course we wouldn't want to treat the eyelashes, but every other area of the body is amenable to treatment.
All right, is laser hair removal permanent?
A better word is permanent reduction in hair, because there are dormant hair follicles that can remain dormant for years and years, but can be reactivated by age, hormone changes, stress, diseases, various medications. So we can't impact any but the actively growing hair follicles at any given time.
In general, is it good for all skin types?
All skin types can be treated, especially with a laser like the Cutera Cool Glide laser, because we have such a huge power supply that our range of effective treatment is tremendous.
All right, let's talk more about the Cool Glide laser treatment. What does it all entail?
The reason it's called the Cool Glide is because cooling is done directly at the surface of the skin during the course of the treatment. The laser glides over the skin using some electrolyte gel to make it glide easier.
And so I assume it's not painful.
It feels sort of like a little rubber band snap, and if it feels any stronger than that, it's because you're at the wrong office with the wrong laser being used. There are all different kinds of lasers, and the only laser that actually does kill hair follicles is a YAG laser.
All right, how soon will you see an impact?
You're not going to see anything until about the second or third treatment. On average, because of hair growth cycles, it takes 5 treatments to get the job done. Very rarely 3 or 4, very rarely 6 or 8, but on average 5.
Let's take a look at some of the before and after pics.
Right.
And the first one is...
It's a pretty...
So is this a woman?
This is a woman's upper lip. Pretty dramatic, wouldn't you say?
Very, absolutely. And so I assume that... How long did it take you to actually work on this area?
The upper lip takes about 5 minutes. The first treatment is a little bit longer because the nurse has to determine the appropriate energy level to use, but for the second through 5th treatments, on average about 5 minutes for the upper lip.
What about side effects?
There are no side effects. The only potential risk is getting burned, because as I told you, the treatment generates heat. So we cool the skin before. During the treatment, the Cool Glide is cooling the skin, and we chill the skin again with a cold pack after the treatment, and then we use some cortisone cream. For about 15 minutes after each treatment, the patient will observe some pinkness of the skin.
Let's take a look at the next one you have here. This is also very dramatic.
This is a man's back, and in his case, it took 4 treatments to get him from the first picture to the second picture. And he's had this good a looking back ever since then, and this was years ago.
And so you're saying that it looks like this now?
It does look like this now.
So basically, it almost looks permanent, but you're saying you're minimizing it.
That's right. We don't know what dormant hair follicles may come back as he gets older and older.
Our third picture.
This is an interesting phenomenon. People who have darker skin, particularly African Americans, the hair can curl before it leaves the skin, causing an inflammatory reaction, which looks like a bunch of pimples. And the only way that we can get rid of those hairs on either a permanent or semi-permanent basis is with the laser.
Now, how does this treatment compare to, let's say, electrolysis?
The problem with electrolysis is that I told you in every square inch of our body we have between 500 and 1,000 hair follicles.
Yes.
In electrolysis session that lasts maybe 20 minutes, the electrologist inserts a needle into any hair follicle that can be seen, which is not all of them, and they can only impact about 50 or 60 hair follicles. With the CoolGlide laser, we can impact 200 to 300 hair follicles in one pulse. So in the course of a treatment, we can cover a huge area.
So you wouldn't have the same effect as you're seeing right now?
Absolutely not. And besides which, you can't treat this with electrolysis because you can't get a needle down into those inflamed hair follicles.
You have a special offer for our viewers. Tell us about that.
Any of your viewers who mention this show can receive a 10% reduction on their next laser hair removal treatment.
So they have to mention Connecticut Style.
Absolutely.
Very good. Of course, if you want more information, Laser Body Solutions is located at 2440 Whitney Avenue, Hamden. 203, the phone number right there, 203-281-5737. Dr. Gold, it's great to have you always.
Thank you as always.